Okay, so hey guys, and welcome back to another episode 72 video, and in today's video I'm back with another interview, and I'm here with Connan Murray. Connan, how are we?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Thank you very much for coming on the channel, mate.
No problem at all. Absolute pleasure.
And so am I right in saying you're a 31-year-old light heavyweight who's 2-0?
I am, yes.
Great, okay, well, if you are new around here and you haven't subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you need like the video, and let's get straight into it. So, the question which I always like to start off with, why did you start boxing?
I think it was just one of them in my DNA. I think it's a family tradition of ours to have at least one amateur bout, and it seems to be some of the family members have one, and that's it. And some people stick by it, and I'm just one of them that's stuck to the tradition and ended up sticking with it. But come back into it a bit late, but we're back.
You are indeed, okay. And so for that, I mean, you said that all your family kind of had that one amateur fight. For that first amateur fight, do you remember what happened in
it? My first amateur fight, yes, I do. It was a bit of a disappointment for myself. I'm not a fan of the amateur game massively. There's always some controversial decisions in it. Seems on people's home shows and stuff. But I was 16, and I felt that I'd won the bout convincingly. It is on YouTube somewhere. And I think you can clearly tell that I won the fight, but didn't get the nod. So my first fight was actually a loss. So it's one of them. 16 years old, you hadn't really developed. I did feel like I'd won the fight, but the judges felt otherwise. You can't really argue with that. I didn't have a good experience with my second one actually either. I had fought an away show, fought a kid that was heavier than me. I gave him 2 standing 8 counts, one in the first, one in the second, and still lost. So I didn't have a good experience in the amateurs. And then I went on and then won the rest from then on, but I lost my first 2 with bad decisions, to be honest. But I think you hear a lot of stories like that in the amateur game.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, it's always tough being the away fighter. But for you said that after that initial first 2 defeats, you went on and won the rest. What was your biggest achievement then from the amateurs?
Nothing too much. I was 2 on and off. Yeah, I was 2 on and off. I went on to win all the rest of my bouts, but it was just a year on, a year off. Then I went to university. I started playing rugby, and I never really got into a rhythm enough to actually achieve much from it. So really, I didn't really achieve what I wanted to achieve on it, and I didn't really put in as much time as I probably should have put into it. Realistically speaking, I was back and forth from sports. Played basketball for a while. I played rugby at quite a high level. Bulked up in size. Never got my weight was always different. So I didn't really achieve too much in the amateur game, to be honest. Which is a shame, really, because it was always something I was passionate and loved about it. But my life was just so hectic. With moving to different places. I was living in Doncaster, went to uni in Manchester, and then I moved to Mexico for a year. Wow. So I was all over the place.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, you're back to it now, and I mean, you've been fighting since since this year. And so, why would you say you've turned professional when you have done?
Well, I've always when I finished the amateurs, I always stuck about doing unlicensed boxing for a little bit of cash here and there through uni and stuff, and so I did always continue boxing in a sense. I did a lot on uni. Had a couple of stoppages at uni. I think I only on my unlicensed fighting, I only ever had one fight go the full distance. So I had 16 unlicensed fights and won them all. And only one of them didn't get finished in the first round, and that was all that I did them all over the place. So I've never been away from it. I've just never been committed to actually really pursue it, just with lifestyle and jobs and where I've been in different countries and stuff. It's just been hard, and so the reason why is because I've got my own gym now. And then I'm a personal trainer, so I actually get to manage my own time now. And over lockdown, I just sat there and thought, if I don't give this a proper go, I'm going to be one of them guys sitting in the pub at 40 going, I could have been, should have been. And I'm not. I refuse to be that person. So this is me now having my punt, as it were, having a good go at it.
Definitely, and I mean, you are indeed, and I'm sure that could be seen as inspirational for people who might be in a similar situation as you.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and I hope it does, because you don't want to live your life in any regrets.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to sit there and go, I could have done that and I should have done that. It's really not a nice place to be. It takes you into a bad place mentally when you're older, because it sits you in a bit of a state of depression. So I'm not going to be that guy. I'm going to be the guy that goes, how'd it go, and wherever it took me, wherever it took me.
Definitely, and so far, I mean, you are the 2-0 professional. You are still unbeaten,
That's it.
and so out of them two fights, which one would you say you've kind of performed your best in?
Do you know what? Two very different fighters. Two very different fighters. They're both renowned road warriors. Harry Matthews, big strong dude. He's been in with the likes of Chris Eubank Jr. and people like that. So, and it was very good at the start of his career when he was pursuing and having a go. I think he went I think his first 10 and 0 when he started. And after speaking to him, he said that on the professional game, it just didn't work out ticket selling, and he wanted to carry on boxing, and being on the road was the best way for him. He's had some tough decisions. He won on the weekend last weekend. Fair play to him. He's a tough, strong kid, and with what I had bringing to that fight is that all my fights had ended in knockout, and I really did put it on him to try and get him out there. And I got my weight wrong a little bit. He was a stone heavier than me. He wasn't budging. He's a tough man, very tough man. He does his job very well. And I got tired towards the last round, so it was a bit of a wake up call, that fight. And I'm thankful that someone as well a good pedigree as Harry from my first fight, because I learnt a lot from it. And then leading on to the second fight, Sheamus he's well known on the circuit. He's a very durable lad, never been stopped. These are the guys that I need to be fighting, and I just showed a level up against Sheamus. I showed patience, I showed energy management, and I won every single round. So it just shows development. I wouldn't say either fight was harder than the other. I just felt like I learnt a lot more in the second one compared to the first.
Definitely, that is great. And so I suppose if you're going with that kind of run of things, would you say that the best is still yet to come for you?
Absolutely. I can only get better from these performances. I'm getting fitter. My body's adapting to being a boxer again. Because when I decided to become a pro boxer, I was 105 kg. I was just bodybuilding. I was just lifting weights. I was coaching. Gym was my life. I'd just come off rugby, and my body's still changing and adapting to boxing all the time. So I can only say that I'm going to get better because my body is adapting to the boxing game now.
Definitely. And going back to a prior answer, I mean, you said that you've been off and on with the sport for a while, so I'm sure this answer has kind of changed over the years. But what would you say currently is keeping you motivated to carry on in the sport?
The love for the sport. The love for the sport, and the fact it's never left me. It's always stuck by me. Just the love for the sport, and just aspirations of just seeing where I can go. That is it. There's no money motivation. There's no world title motivation or anything like that. There was just the pure love, passion, and the enjoyment of the sport that's keeping me going. That's it.
That's great. Yeah, that's definitely, it's the most important factor, really. I mean, as soon as that kind of love goes, and your whole enjoyment of doing your job is just kind of gone, really, and you're not going to succeed as much. I
feel it becomes dangerous. It becomes dangerous when you don't love something and enjoy it. Not just, and I'm not just talking about boxing. I'm talking about like your day-to-day jobs, like in the office and stuff like that. It's dangerous to your mind. Obviously, boxing is dangerous to your body if you're not loving it and you're not invested into it. But everything is dangerous if you're not loving it, because it puts you in a bad state mentally.
Definitely, and it's of course very important to speak about that kind of mental side of things as well as the physical side of things. Great. Okay, and so to kind of speak about your next fight now, how's preparations been going for that?
Preparation's going great. I've got a great team at Steffi's. I've been working closely with Ray Doyle, who's one of the best coaches in the game. I'm surrounded by winners. There's Terry, there's Jason, Lee Appleyard just won a title. Connor's going in for an English title now. I'm just surrounded by absolute class fighters, so I can't not perform around these sort of people, and they motivate me to do my best. So I'm lucky to be in that sort of stable of fighters. So yeah, preparation's gone well. I've not missed a day in the gym. There's no niggles. I work in the gym, I live in the gym, and then I'm at Steffi's gym. So I'm just literally, I'm all the time training. I love it. It's what I've never not trained every day. So it's I can't complain about preparation. There'll be no excuses on my half anyway.
That is good to hear, my friend. And so for anybody who's watching this and who might have not seen you fight before, what would you say kind of it makes you interesting as a fighter?
I put it all on the line. Always expect fireworks from me. Like to throw big shots. It's become a little bit more calculated now that people aren't just going out on the first few shots. But always fireworks. I'm always putting my neck on the line. I'm not afraid to bang with anyone. And don't really take back steps either. And that's always exciting.
Definitely, it is indeed. And so I'm sure you're kind of going to be wanting to go into that with your next fight. And do you think you could possibly give me a prediction for that next fight?
You know what? I've got to be respectful to these fighters. I mean, Poochie is another legend of the Road Warrior game, and he's coming off. I mean, I watched him fight Brad a couple of months ago, Brad Cousins, and he beat Brad, and he's trying to put a spanner in the works with these prospects now. So I'm excited. I'm expecting a good fight, and I'm expecting to come at me. So who knows? I'm going to put my best performance in. I'm going to always try for the knockout. But as I said, you can't write these Road Warriors off. They're tough kids. They're durable. Definitely be a win. I can't give you a prediction because it depends what sort of Poochie comes out to play.
That's fair enough. And so, I mean, you spoke about how you're kind of more in the sport for the enjoyment side than more than the title side. But how far do you believe you could go in the sport?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know. I am just going to enjoy and savour every single moment. I'm hoping that towards the end of next year there'll be some area titles in there and stuff like that. I'm not gonna stay at light heavy at all. It's not my it's my walk around weight.
Right.
But with these early fights, they're on the day weigh-ins and stuff like that. So there's no point in getting technical and draining yourself down. But I'll definitely be looking at pursuing titles at 12 stone over 12 and a half, and maybe even lighter. We'll see how my body changes over the next few months. So I would like to think area titles, English titles, but as I said, I don't get fixated on it. I'm just here for a good time, not a long time, and whatever comes my way I will take with open arms.
That is great, my friend. Okay, and so I'll leave with this final question, which I always like to ask. You've got a little bit of a platform here. Would you like to shout anything out?
No shout outs. I've got no call outs and no shout outs. Shout out my team, or everyone at Steffi Ball. The guys are doing amazing things with me. My sponsors, Everlast, York Road Golden Cod, Oxen, Prim Health, Esther Bullows, Doncaster City FC, and the Herbalist. All my sponsors. If I didn't have them, I wouldn't be able to do what I do, and all the fans and everyone who comes to watch me fight. So that's what the shout outs I'll do. It's quite a broad shout out, but I've got to be grateful for all them people, because if it weren't for them, I wouldn't be here fighting.
Definitely. Okay, well, thank you very much for doing this interview, mate.
Not a problem at all. Absolute pleasure.
And maybe a little bit further along down the line we can come back and do a return interview.
Absolutely. A few more wins on the record.
Definitely, indeed. Okay, nice one. Well, if you are new around here and you haven't subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you do indeed like the video, and thanks for watching.